Les ancêtres nous dans la Caraïbe, c'est des gens qui étaient ribondi, ils étaient ouais misère, mais misère pas te tuer yo. Pour moi, ça c'est leçon qui a sorti.
One side, and that's the next side. This was a whole calabash, eh? I cut it in half. I cut it in half, and I'm gonna use the two sides.
This will be as it were head pieces, you know, like I'm gonna work, you know.
You see, it's that kind of thinking where we begin to decolonialize and use what is ours in order to shape our own civilization. What we call the Caribbean, that's why we call the Caribbean, celebrating our Caribbean calabashness in all its splendor. Yeah, it was the intention was to bring artists together. What we call in the Creole, the kudme. So we wanted to kudme kachil, a kudme of thought and expression, so that the thinking would come together. That's why we had that what we dubbed the mass camp, or you know, where we would have different artists coming by and expressing themselves on Calabash, and of course to raise awareness about the trustees of that body of knowledge. By that I mean those who handed down not just the germplasm itself, which is the calabash, that kept it in trust for us, but those who the body of knowledge of how to prepare it for our use, even in the simplest forms. The Aboriginal people, these are the people who kept it that knowledge in trust for us, and now we have it to utilize to bring it kind of into the 21st century. But the motifs you saw on this calabash was to celebrate them, to celebrate the fact that they held it for us, and now it is our duty as this generation to pass it on in as good a condition as we inherited it, or even better for the succeeding generation, and let them fly with it.
When you are working, you're a painter or photographer or whatever, you have to be disciplined. You have to have a certain discipline because you're all alone. We have interaction, me and the Kalbas, and the beast, the man, the woman, that they're coming out by themselves.
But most of my patterns right now have been floral designs and designs inspired by nature, stars, the moon, flowers, birds, fish. I wouldn't be able to do anything on the calabash if it wasn't for how the calabash was made. The texture, the thickness, the versatility.
It's the mysterious thing of creation, I think. You cannot say how, why, and when, and what, and there's no explanation.
And it was nice to see the multiple of things that could be derived from Calabash, right? And I mean, since I'm a painter, it was a nice vibe to just free up my head and don't have to think of what am I painting, just free up myself and do anything on the Calabash, which was brilliant.
The only thing that holds me back from putting a pattern is basically the limits placed on the calabash, how far I can go with it, and also the limits to my creativity.
An artist uses what is around him. It could be garbage, it could be plastic, it could be whatever. Here there's a lot of things in nature that you can use, and you can be inspired from nature. So I started with what I saw, in fact. It was just my imagination who was running away with me. We had to use it, we had to do something.
I like the aspect of the historical part of it, the whole generation, that I could take some vibes from it and contribute into the new one. So the Calabash thing was a good idea to show whereby this simple thing we call a calabash, where we call it the national tree. There's so much thing that could be derived from it, plus so many things that it was used for in the past.
I found out recently that the Arawaks actually sculpted their calabash bowls while it was still on the tree. That's very ingenious. They would flatten out the bottom of the calabash by tying a piece of wood to it or something while it was still on the tree.
You have light of wood. You see the pitons balance? Now inside the calabash it has a they call it a bobo. It's a little it's an internal disease where it becomes hard. And I try to get an effect there. When the fruit is on the tree, if it gets a knock, it's so sensitive that whatever is inside hardens if you knock it on the outside. Inside hardens, and it depending on how much rough it is, sometimes wind blowing the calabash to and fro, and it might develop. So sensitive, eh?
Ça c'est en Kalbas, c'est coincé entre deux branches. Et là, regardez, on peut constater qu'il a fait deux visages. Et c'est pour ça que je m'a appelé résilience, puisque c'est ça qui montre que même la nature coché Kalbas la vif, la nature fait souffert, il arrive sortir pour montrer comme ça, montrer comment il est fier de lui, il est fier de remonter, il est fier de surmonter en difficulté. Mon père dit qu'il m'a toujours tenu en admiration pour ces pieds Kalbas là, justement qui pieds national St Lucie, parce que moi j'ai trouvé ça un pied bois qui majestueux, un pied bois qui généreux, parce qu'il y a fait Kalbas, on l'a tout corps, on l'a tout grand brancheli tout ça. Et finalement, moi j'étais content parce que bien plus tard, m'a rentré, trouvant une opportunité pour rentrer à la formation sculpture sur Kalbas. Œuvre Tala m'a appelé émergence, c'est-à-dire comment c'est concept Tala qui a dit comment là on a additionné différentes matières qui addition différentes matières là plus fort qui chaque matière séparément addition plus fort qui somme là même qui a dépassé m'a appelé émergence et explication c'est entre là de Kalbas sur socle volcanique. Roche là pour moi c'est volcan bagay qui est vraiment solide et Kalbas entre là c'est un petit fragile et là on a regardé comme ça il y a une harmonisation et moi dans le commentaire là moi bien précisé que la force de la nature c'est un bagay extraordinaire qu'a nous en leçon dit l'importance harmonisation dans la vie et moi mettez bien 3 points de suspension si nous les hommes nous pas mettez grain sel nous si nous pas mettez des ordres à danse la nature mettez en la terre. Kalbas là et puis moi nous ta dans même dynamique là. Donc printemps et puis c'est qu'il était qu'à printemps et puis moi.
It's just coming spontaneously up. You can see the Kalbas they have a form. And in that form you see something. It's born by itself. It's coming out of the Kalbas.
Very fertile. Ici, il y a ces places qui fertile.
String side. Not bad. Here's the strap. You're gonna hang on this side. That's another use of the calabash. One of the many uses of the simple calabash tree.
We have the uses of plants handed down to us from the Aboriginal people. So the uses are there. But in order for us to relive it or to sustain it, we have to make it. We have to go and craft it, fashion it. So in order to do that, what we decided as an A&H was to put the Aboriginal motifs on the calabash. Things we've derived from pottery, the motifs that we've gotten from pottery on the calabash, like or on stone, for example, petroglyphs, etc., in order to celebrate them, celebrate the ancestors, and to show the younger generation that body of knowledge that we now have, a people who were before us handed it down to us, and we are now celebrating that, and we are now building on that body of knowledge that has been, we're keeping that knowledge alive, as it were, in this dispensation.
Kalbas, Kalbas, Fi national nous a crié. Kalbas, Kalbas, Fi national ça oui. Kalbas, Kalbas, Pi national nous a crié. Kalbas, Kalbas, Pi national c'est ça oui. Ou ban nous oui men. Pour nous ça oui la cloche. Ou ban nous cuit. Pour faire fourchette protectrière. Ou ban nous musique. Chaque chakari ou ban nou Kalbas. Allez la vie pour chen glofoué nous ka chanter Kalbas, Kalbas, Pi national nous a crié. Kalbas, Kalbas, Pi national c'est ça oui. Kalbas, Kalbas, Pi national nous a crié. Kalbas, Kalbas, Pi national c'est ça oui. Ou ban nou chapeau. Soleil parfait tête nous trop chaud. Ou ban nous boots pour mettre la genou. Ou ban nous sling bag pour jeune fille habillée koyo. Bay artisan manger. Non qu'on s'habille nous qu'à changer. De nous chanter Kalbas, Kalbas, Pi national nous a crié. Kalbas, Kalbas, Pi national c'est ça oublié. Kalbas, Kalbas, Pi national nous a crié.